Oh, it's a tad windy today. As I say, a tad. Tad. I'm not sure where that word tad comes from really. It's a funny word, isn't it? A tad windy. Anyway, I'm off to get on the poacher blocking again. Oh. Right, I'm going to take my loader. I'm going to get a... well, what I've got to do... I've got to actually remove a bale that the cows ate yesterday. You might have seen I put it on Facebook. The cows. So let me tell you. Let's backtrack, shall we? So I had a visit from the lovely poacher people, my lovely poacher friends, the other week. 30 cattle out on the road, and what they'd done is they'd moved the round bales I'd stacked down by the gate. I think they'd used their truck to sort of push them out of the way. Anyway, I went down there, we got the cattle back in, I went down and re-barricaded the field with 6 bales instead of 2. And I really cocked this up. I'm doing a 17.2. Yeah, so basically, put these bales in the gateway, I put them on their ends so they're harder to move rather than on their sides. And look at that, flipping smacked my head on the loader just when I was reversing back. What am I talking about? Reversing back. Not reversing back, turning round. I turned round and I just went clonk on the loader that was sticking out. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. I'm trying to drop off the fork and put the loader on, the grab on. Right, let's get that. So I did one gateway, 6 bales, and then the other gateway I did with just a couple. And it was I kind of like created a problem for myself really. I was in a rush and I thought, do you know what, I'll leave these bales here. Oh, I've really messed this up now. Oh. You shouldn't really talk and do stuff. I don't know how I managed to walk and talk even, ever. Right. Let me just put it, right, I'm going to put this down and then we'll chat to you in a minute. Yeah, so as I said, I put 6 bales in a gateway down the bottom, but I also put 2 bales a while ago in another gateway at the top. Now the thing about that is it was where the cattle were grazing, and I was thinking, oh well, they got plenty of grass, I might get away with them not eating the bale. Anyway, got a text message, someone was driving by yesterday, saw the cattle eating the bale in the field, in the gate. So I'm going along there now to move that bale and put another one in its place, and I got a bit of wire by it, so hopefully that'll stop it. Let's see what happens when we get there. I've just got to shut this gate a minute. Right, get along. I'm going to go and pick up a bale from along the field, because rather than take it off the stack, I might as well take it out of the field. You know those ones, the 30 odd we had bale the other day. I've got to go and move them sometime anyway. I might just go and pick one up with the loader fork, bring it back, and then it's out of the way. And then, oh look, can you see that heron? There it is. Heron just flown off there. Right. So, because the trouble is, once these bales are opened by the cattle, they're going to jump, you know, they're just going to deteriorate, and also the smell from the bale will kind of attract the cattle to it. Even with a bit of wire around it, they'll sniff it and go, that smells good. Really, they've got enough feed in the field. All it is, you know, it's something new and different. They like silage, and they haven't had it for 6 months. A bit like being married. So cute. They haven't had it for 6 months, and little joke there for all the married men. They haven't had it for 6 months, And so when they get a bit of silage, it's like, woo, that's nice, I've had that for ages. Whereas if that was the end of winter, they'd be ignoring the silage and going for the grass. So right, so we're going to get this bale. I'm going to go along, put it in the place of the ripped up one, and then I'm going to bring the ripped up one, and the cattle can have that later. So let's go along and get it. We're off to get the bale, the wonderful bale of silage. Alright, plenty to choose from in here. Let's go and get one. In here, I think. Let's go and get a bale. Which one should we have? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And we do the politically correct version now, don't we? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tickle by its toe. That's very different from when I was growing up, which we can talk about now. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tickle by its toe. Right, let's get this bale sorted. Hi-ho, it's off to work we go, with a big black bale on the front. Hi-ho, hi-ho, hi-ho. As if by magic, we are by the round bales. Look at those beauties. Alright, we'll come back and have a look at them in a minute. That's a nice stack, isn't it? Right, so I'm just going to go down. This is, so where we're at, this is called the new ground. I might have said about it before. 2 bombs dropped there during World War II. Still got a bit of the bomb shrapnel back at the house. Right, I'm going to go and have a look in here. This is where the 2 bales are at the end. But basically, I cannot go around the whole farm blocking every gate. But what I can do is block the gates that are most likely to be visited. And make it harder for them. They've made it hard for me, to be honest. They've made my life difficult because I've got to now, every time I want to go through these gates, I've got to think about where I'm going to get through and what time of day and all that, because I've got to come along here and move the bales. But the alternative is I just let people ride carte blanche all over our farm and I let them kill all the hares. Do I really want that? No, I don't. God, it's quite hot. This weather is all over the place. Raining, freezing cold last night. Quite hot now. I've got my jumper on. I don't need the jumper on. Right, let's have a look when we get there. Silence. Right. Let's get out and you can have a proper look at the lump on my head. Where's the light? Look at this. Can you see that? God, I did swear. I tell you what, my channel, if you know you watch it, I don't really do swear, and I kind of think there's a place for that, and I appreciate some people watch me, got young kids, there's no point in me being a sweary boy. But I do swear, I'm no different from anyone else. I do swear, and God blimey, there were some proper big words coming out there. Some words I don't think anyone had ever heard for centuries. and also, I was so mad. Once I smacked that, it hurt a lot. And if those, let's be polite, what we call them, poachers, I could have called them a lot worse. If those poachers had been in the field when I hit my head, flipping it, there would have been nothing left of them. I was so raging. I am a raging man when I get angry. A bit like the Incredible Hulk, quite mild, and then suddenly, right. So let's have a look at this bale. So right, look, can you see here what? So yesterday was a horrible day. The cows have got plenty of grass across here, and I'm not keeping them tight. They got plenty of grass. It's quite a length as well, so they're okay for grass. But they spotted these, and they came across here. Look, they all crowd around. Look at the muck. You can see where they've been. And they came through here. And the funny thing is, they didn't attack this one. There's a little tiny munch there, perhaps, or that might even be a rip. And this bale's all right. But this one, they decided to have a right munch on. Look at this. Look. Look at that. So I think I can take that back. That'll be all right for the heifers, but I've got to basically just take this wire down, move it out to one side. Let me get this and do that. This wire stuff's really good. It's easy to put up, easy to take down. Right, take that down. Blowing a gale. Right, let's move that up there. Let's move that because I don't want to run these over. Urgh. And what I'll do is I'll just put that to one side, drag that one out, and then put that one in its place and take the other one back. Right, there we go. Now that, I've made it a lot harder for them. The reality is, if they're going to want to come through, they've got to come through with their trucks and push these out of the way. They will do that. If they do that, then... Oh, do you know what? I'm going to go and get another bale. With a third one there, will it? Just a minute, let's just make it harder for them. I was just going to have two there, but while I got the flat 8, not the flat 8. Have you noticed how I get all my words muddled up a lot? I've been doing that for years, and it's more apparent now I've been doing YouTube, because the reality is it shows up on the videos. I say stuff, and when I go back to edit them, I realise I've said the wrong word, but I don't realise I've said it at the time quite often. Right, yeah, I'm going to put another bale there because I think 3 is going to be a definite. A lot hard. You can push 2, but if you've got another one against it, you mean you've got to move another one to move the other one. But you know, there's more gates along here. If they want to get in, they can. And I cannot make this place a fortress. I don't want to. There's been some good advice. A lot of people have been really helpful. You know, a lot of people said a dose of lead would be good, which I can't disagree with, but would end up with me being in prison. So probably not a good idea. Spikes in the ground, Yeah, it's alright till someone else stands on them, isn't it? Wildlife cameras, yes, I have used those in the past, and actually if things escalate I will be getting those back out again. The problem I've had is that I haven't had a visit for months, and so if you were doing wildlife cameras you would just be soaking. My experience is they use a lot of batteries. You would soak through loads of batteries for no apparent reason. And the tricky bit with that is how many wildlife cameras do you need? Because they tend to come everywhere. The annoying thing is I had the wildlife camera footage to show the police last time, and the police weren't really interested. I got a bit of footage of them. Didn't really make a big difference. I got a video of a lad with a hair in his hand, and I can honestly say it didn't really help. I had the police out. I did have the police out on Saturday morning, and they came and saw me and they had a chat. The harsh reality of this is that what you do is you make it difficult for them to come here and you move them on somewhere else. That's the truth. I think if I'm going to kid myself, I think they're going to stop hair coursing. That ain't happening. Although saying that, the police are a little bit more on it than they were last time I dealt with this, and I believe they've got a wildlife drone they use now, so that if someone's in the fields they can fly over and find them, and of course they've got infrared and stuff. So we'll see. I'm hoping this is it. I really don't want this to keep going. Right, here's the black bales, look. There's a nice juicy one there. Let's get this one here, shall we? Alright, I didn't really, once you got them on a pile, you don't really want to take them off. But I went and got that other one, and I've shut the gate along there, and I don't really want to have to open the gate, so I'm just being lazy now. Right, this is the problem with putting them on the stack, is that I don't tend to touch them till the winter, and it's very easy to rip them. And then look, you see, judging it. When I'm stacking these, I'm not thinking about taking them off carefully because I'm using them the next day. So it's a bit annoying. Right, I think that's all right. I don't think I've ripped anything. Right. So where I'm taking these back, what I'm doing is I'm relying on the fact that the cattle will see the electric fence wire and just assume it's electrified. And older cattle think like that. Younger cattle will just think, what's that, and go straight through it. But older dairy cows, because that's what they're used to, the chances of them actually touching it are quite low. Oh, I can see Reg out there, he's cultivating. Let me just, right, I'm going to stop because I think he's got his tracked vehicle on. Let me just see if I can zoom down here. Right, I'm not sure what he's got on. Let me zoom right down. Special zoom. Look at that zoomy. Look. Oh yes. He's down. Actually, I didn't realise it's probably Andy down there. He's down there with his 4x4 little thing. Can you see that tractor? Look at that. Oh, look, now you can see how dirty my windows are. Oh, look how good that zoom is. Hence why I use the camcorder. Right. That's Reggie's, a phenomenal tracked vehicle. It does help if you've sold some land for housing development, you can buy this stuff. Right, like I said, I'm going to put this bale back in there. I'm hoping that the electric fence that's not an electric fence will be enough for the cattle to think, oh, I don't fancy trying to get to that bale. And we'll see anyway. We'll see. Right, let's get back along. It's just going to put one on this end because obviously it makes it harder for them to move it then. It makes it harder for me to lift it up later as well. There we go. I'm just going to put a bit of tape on that little hole that was on that other bale. Where is it? Just there, isn't it? It's not much of a hole really, is it? But little bit of tape there. Can't find the end. Where's the end? Oh, these rolls of tape, when you lose the end, it's a nightmare. It's ripped on here as well. Oh, come on. There we go. Got it. That'll do. Right, just got to put the wire back up now, and then I'm going to get back with my rip bale. Look at it, there it is, looking very sorry for itself, isn't it? On that loader. Oh, there we go. Here's my handy holder. Handy holder. Right. So that's pretty good now. I think if you're gonna come in here and push those, you're gonna have a bit more of a job, really. It's a bit of effort. Right. Time will tell. Just get this bit in. Oh, now look, I've done it. Tangled it all up. Come on. I'm talking to myself going, come on, what am I doing? Right. This is what happens when you do things. Right, I'm going to put the camera down again. This is what happens when you try and do two things at once, videoing and doing a job. It doesn't always work very well. Let me just untangle. Oh, it's like spaghetti. Spaghetti-o! Spaghetti-o! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Right, got that bit attached down there. Just got to put these stakes up. Put that one on there. Right, what do you reckon? That's enough distance for them to stop getting near it for a sniff, isn't it? I mean, the worst bit is having to actually do this, really. You just think, oh, come on. Kind of what frustrates me about poaching is, the reality is, it's not people trying to get stuff for food. It's not like poaching from 100 years ago where people were starving and they went out and tried to bag a rabbit for their tea and stuff. The people who are coming out here to get these hares is purely for sport. What they do, as far as I'm aware, the police have told me, they'll come out with their dogs. They bet on the hares and they bet on the dogs. Sorry, so they'll probably have three dogs with them. They'll let the dogs chase the hares and they'll gamble on which one will win. And it's all about which is the best dog. The hare then died. I don't know whether they eat the hare. I very much doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised if they chuck it. I really don't know. I can't tell you about that. But it's not about food, because we're not living in the era of oh my god, everyone's starving. Okay, there's people who do need food banks and stuff like that, but the reality is, I think the majority of people who haven't got enough food don't go poaching. Easy to queue up at a food bank, isn't it, really? Get yourself a bag of Tesco food and go home, rather than spending a night in a field with it chasing a hare. But so I kind of find it a sad crime, really, because and it is a crime. It's a wildlife crime, because these hares, they're pretty defenceless. They don't live in a burrow, so they can't escape underneath and below ground. They tend to go around in a circle. If you chase them, they'll come back eventually to the same field. But also, they're not very common. For every rabbit you see, well, every 100 rabbits you see, you might see one hare. And they're lovely looking animals. I really like the look of them. It's sort of like the long ears, and I've seen them boxing and stuff. But this is going on all around this area. I had a farmer phone me up after they came to me saying they had a visit a couple of weeks ago. Twice, rammed the gates. You know, I think, is it Farmer Phil? I think he's had them. Someone sent me a message about it. You can watch this video. Anyway, right, let's go and have a look at the bales. Just on a better note, let's go and see how many bales we've actually got in our clamp, in our stack. Let's crack on. I've got to get back. I've wasted enough time doing this sort of thing. It's not a satisfying job, is it? You know, all this does create more extra work. And I think I said before, the thing is, right, when you do all your costings for producing something, Tesco and Muller and people like that aren't going to appreciate the costings of you stopping poachers getting on your land and having to deal with that aspect of it, and the rip bale and the loss of the silage and all the, you know, that goes with that happening. It doesn't become part of a spreadsheet anywhere, does it? Cost of production of milk, like many things on the farm, they're just not costed. It's in your time and, you know, hourly rate. That's why I think that's why a lot of farmers stand back and look at other people going on strike and moaning about a lack of money, and kind of, you've got to just laugh a little bit, really, because if you costed our time, it'd be ridiculous. How do I cost this? Right, let's go and have a look at the round bales. Alright, let's have a look what we've got here. I don't know how many bales I've got. I'll have to calculate them sometime. We are well up on our bales again now. I was really worried in sort of June time, because we filled the stack I'd fill from that end. So what I tend to do is I put the oldest bales there and work right, figuring that when I come and get the bales, I start on the old ones first and work my way through. So those were baled in May, that end. Okay, and then these were baled. Ooh, hello. Ooh, hello. Those were baled in May. These were baled in September. And it makes sense to use the youngest one first, doesn't it? Because they'll start deteriorating at some point. So we had all the really good first cut of bales, and then we made some second cut, and I got as far as here, and I was quite worried because that was when we had the drought, and I thought, oh my god, we're going to struggle here. And anyway, while I was away on holiday in August, my brother made the hayfield into silage, so some of these are from that. We go on round, I think the black ones actually, I'm not sure, the green ones, no, the green ones. The green ones are actually what used to be the hayfield, so I have to bear that in mind. I'm not going to touch that wire because it's on, but that's going to be not such good quality. That's going to be for the dry cows there, look. There you go. I'll put a bit of tape on that, really. So the quality is not going to be as good there. Those are what I would definitely be giving to the dry cows, because they can have something just belly filler, really. The young heifers want a better quality silage. So they call it belly filler when you sort of get some silage that's not as good as it should be. It's kind of like, what's it they always say, better than snowball in June or something like that, the saying, I think. I can't remember what it is. You know, you're just glad to have something, but not necessarily very nutritious. And it's a bit like giving your kids just toast all the time. It'll fill their stomach, but they're not going to grow on it, are they? So that's the same with these bales. Anyway, I'm just going to turn this off. I'm going to just put that tape on it. I'll come back. Hello. Right, got that done, taped up. Heading back now. The trouble is with belly filler silage is they tend to waste quite a lot of it. if it's nice first cut silage, they'll flipping wolf it down, and they'll eat it because it's so lovely for them. When you get to the belly filler silage, it tends to sort of be picked over, and they don't tend to want to eat it so well. You'll find that quite a bit ends up sort of on the bottom of the ring feeder, or where we feed it to the dry cows, it just gets left in the sort of alleyway. The only good thing with that is what I tend to do is, with the sort of lower grade stuff like that, let the cows pick over, and then I chuck it over into their bedding, and usually the stuff they don't like is usually the drier stuff. So, and what I end up doing is chuck it over the bedding, and you can use it as bedding almost, which I think that's what that's going to be like. I reckon that's going to be a cross between feed and bedding. Right, oh, I'm a bit tired now, to be honest. I don't know about you, I feel more tired once it gets dark in the mornings and dark at night. I haven't got the energy I have in the summer. In the summertime I can just zip up and get going. In the winter I'm like, oh. Right, I'm going to, talking of which, I'm going to get going. I've got stuff to do, plans to make, people to see, all that stuff. Crack on everyone. Right, let's get back with this bale. The heifer's going to have that tomorrow. Yippity-doo-dah, yippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Crack on.